everyone. Welcome back to Coffee with a Go-Getter. This is where we get to speak with people that have accomplished a lot and those that are also working towards accomplishing everything that they have dreamed up or their ideal life that they, have designed for themselves. We get to understand their origin stories, how they got to where they are, the lessons that they've learned along the way, and also certain things that they can leave us, certain, inspiration and blueprints that they can leave us so we can follow in their footsteps as well. I'm Ruth, your host for today, and I'm also the co-founder of This Is My Era. So my guest today is a go-getter who has made the decision to really embark on his life journey of accomplishing and achieving his goals. He's a fitness instructor in the UK, and he is also a dad to a 7-year-old son. Interesting thing is he suffered a car crash at a young age, and he was unconscious. Now, while he was able to regain consciousness, there was a high probability that he was going to be handicapped in some way. But he did not let that hold him back from bouncing back and getting to the life that he's always envisioned. So I am excited. I'm not going to give away too much because I am anxious to hear the story. I'm pretty sure you all are too. So please help me welcome my guest today, Sean Weston.
Hello.
Hey, Sean. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Yourself?
I am well. Thank you so much for joining me. I know it's a little later in the UK, but you made the time to be here. So thank you.
Wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Thank you.
Oh, that is fantastic. So I did share at the beginning briefly about, you and the crash and everything. So let's just kind of hit rewind a little bit and understand who is Sean and how did Sean get to where Sean is now?
That's a question you'd be surprised I get quite a lot. Who is Sean? Who is it? Well, let's start with, you mentioned the crash. When I was 4, in fact, the day before my 4th birthday, I was in a traffic accident. Someone reversed into the back of our car. The back seat was where the front seat should be. The front seat was under the engine. The roof collapsed in on top of my head. Everyone else in the car was pretty fine. But because they hit my side, I broke my leg in 4 places. So 2 in the femur and then 2 on the bottom. Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, tibia, fibula, 2 on the femur. So it's a hell of a lot of whack to break a femur. But and not only that, I had the roof collapse in on my head. So I was unconscious for a while. I think at one point I was in a coma for a little while.
Oh, wow.
And they basically said that, I'll come out of it, but there's a very high chance that I will have some sort of mental handicap.
Yeah.
And obviously not having broken my leg at 4, having to use a walker, or we call them Zimmer frames, not the best for building up character and social skills and all that. But yes, tests and everything. Touch wood, there's nothing majorly wrong with me. Slightly irritating, but there's nothing wrong. But yeah, it's through majority of my life I've kind of had to learn to walk again. Literally walk before I can crawl, walk before I can run. So then about 21, probably about 4 years ago, I then had an operation on my leg to extend the muscle and the tendons. So once again, had to learn to walk again.
Oh, wow.
And it was uncomfortable, it was painful, and I thought, right, I'll join a gym and exercise. And I ended up just giving money to the gym and not going, and just getting bigger and getting sadder. And then one day I just decided, right, I've got a little boy now. He's 7. I have no way of controlling him. The poor blight is the exact spitting image of me. God help him. And I was like, right, I want to be able to go and run with him and play with him and all this. So I started going to the gym. And it worked for a little bit, and then I stopped. And I went to quite a dark place mentally. Really wasn't nice. I'd drive home from work and just sit in the car like by a bridge and just be like, what's stopping me from just
like
flooring it?
and going through it.
And it really wasn't nice. And that's when it was like, right, I need to do something.
Yeah.
So I went and sought help and got medication for it. And about that time, whilst scrolling endlessly through Facebook, I came across one of these ads like, oh, enter this competition. And it was for a Viking heavy metal festival. And I just thought, do you know what?
Why not?
Why not? Let's just do it. And I won tickets
to it.
I won
so
tickets
that's
to
something that cannot be taken away from you. You are a Viking champion.
All right. And about that time, my brother-in-law was kind of told, look, you need to start exercising. And they were expecting my first niece. So it was like, right, okay, we'll have a bet. You can come with me to this festival. Whoever looks the least like the Viking buys the first round of beers. And he didn't go in the end because my niece came along. So I thought, right, I'm going to keep going anyway and keep doing it. And I started losing weight. I was feeling healthier. I was feeling happy. I was feeling stronger, to the point that co-workers would join me. They were then like, oh yeah, how do I do this? What do I do with this one? How do I deadlift?
Yeah.
And then the one morning I got a Snapchat from one of the cooks at the restaurant I worked at, and he goes, oh my God, thank you so much for all your help. I haven't been able to fit in these jeans for 3 years, but I kept them like, I was like, that's what I want to do.
Oh,
that's the feeling I want to do.
That
if you'd
is
have met me in high school, not a chance on this earth that I would be doing fitness or anything sporty.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I wanted to find that, you know, the old saying, you find something you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah. It's a relevant saying.
Yeah, I never had that. I started working in restaurants because it was easy and it was there, and it just continued it was like, oh, it's just a stopgap. It's just a stopgap. Yeah. And that stopgap lasted 17 years.
Oh, yeah.
So, and it got to the point, it was like, right, I've had enough. I need to do something, but I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then that was my light bulb moment.
Like, that's so fantastic. And, you know, I think a lot of people can relate, right, to, because it sounds like you were going through a journey. It was, you know, tragedy hits, right, with the crash. And there's also uncertainty with that, because it's, okay, well, he's going to wake up, but we don't know what's coming. So I'm pretty sure your parents must have been probably, you know, freaking out, because
they were also scrambling to think what to get me.
You know,
my birthday presents that day were a pogo stick and a scooter.
Exactly. Right? Exactly. So and then also having being able to come out of that, and then you also at a young age learning to build social skills, but then you have this challenge that you are also working on overcoming. Right. And then there's also, you look at the bit of, you know, the dark moment that you went through, because then there was a little bit of victory, right? Yeah. Of you being able to like walk again and and then you get hit with another roadblock. But, you know, and somebody listening right now is probably like, oh my goodness, I can relate to that. But they take a lot of solace and comfort in the sense that you're here and you went through the journey of like driving to the bridge, right? And you were there, and there's somebody right now probably at that bridge waiting, right? Waiting and deciding, figuring out what's stopping me from making that decision. And it sounds like, you know, besides, like, I want to kind of touch a little bit about that on that. What was the thing that made you, and it could, I'm probably kind of have an idea what you would say, but what is the thing that made you say, okay, no, I'm not going to floor it?
It was a combination of things. It was number one was my son, and my wife was, if I do it, then I'm not going to see him grow up. He's going to have this limit, and I'll do more damage to them than I would to myself.
Can you hear me? I think I lost you for a second.
I can hear you, yes. Can you hear me? I'll take that as a no. Hello? Oh, God. I'm not entirely sure what's happened.
Hey, sorry.
Hello. It's all right. Yes, it's all right. You turned into a bit of a robot, and then I was like, yeah. And then you're like, can you hear me? I was like, yes. Can you hear me? Silence.
Silence.
Like, that's a no then.
All right.
But where would you like me to carry on from? Oh, no. Frozen again. You've either frozen again or you're holding really still, which is impressive. Oh, there we go.
Can you? Okay. So where did you lose me? Where did I become very robotic?
You just asked me what stopped me from saying, right, just gunning it and.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so yeah, you can take it from there and respond.
So the main one would have been my wife, my son, my family. I've always been brought up very family orientated.
Yeah.
And I like to think things through logically.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, okay, if I do this to me, that's it. That's done for me. I don't have to worry. However, then it affects this person this way. That then affects this and this.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing when you've got, it's a blessing and a curse if you suffer from anxiety and overthinking, is you think of every possible outcome, even ones that don't exist and could possibly never happen.
You still think about it.
But you'd be able to come up with those scenarios, and 10 times out of 9, you're going to get that scenario where you go, I didn't think about that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was that, and it was kind of pride as well. It was like, right, I'm bigger than this. I've done this. I've managed to have a son. I've got married. I've managed to get a career, which at the time was in food. It was done all this, that, and the other. Why the hell do I want to give up now?
Oh, that's so good.
And it was more of a stubborn. If I can't go over the wall and I can't go under the wall, I'm going to go through it, and I'm going to beat it, and I'm going to square my shoulders. I'm going to grit my teeth, and I'm going to say, look, I need help.
Yeah. That is so good. And I think that is something that, I think right now it's getting better. But before, where it's like, I'm going to put my pride aside, I'm going to put my ego aside, and I'm going to look for help because I can't do this on my own. And we're not designed to do life on our own, right? That's why therapists are there. That's why doctors are there. That's why friends, all these people. We're definitely, no one can really truly make it through life on their own. No matter how much you think you can, You definitely cannot. So it's such an inspiration. It's so lovely thing to hear. So that kind of segues me into like my next question, because you were talking about, you got help, and then family, obviously, loved ones, they're always the ones that notice things that we refuse to notice, encouraging you to get back in shape. And then through that, you discovered a passion that you didn't even know that you
Yeah.
wanted. And sometimes, right, it's the moment, these are the best moments where you don't realize it was what you were meant to do, but you notice the impact, right? The impact that you have on others. And then all of a sudden it sparks that desire or passion in you. So we now know fitness is the thing. How then has that kind of transitioned the way you approach life now? Because right now you're kind of an inspiration to the people that you've helped, right? People are looking at you now. People are asking you for of how do I do this? How do I do that? Has that changed the way you approach and your outlook on life?
It has, and don't get me wrong, it's not one of these, I've taken a magic pill and everything's sorted. I have days where I am down in the ditch. There's no getting back. There's no light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And it is difficult. And it's times like that where the things that are good for you, like journaling and meditation and healthy eating and fitness, that's when you just go, well, what's the point?
Yeah.
So it's occasionally taking that time to kind of go, right, I've done X, Y, Z. Stop. Move back. Right. Excuse my squeaky chair. I've achieved this month. I've achieved this month. What didn't I get done? This.
Yeah.
Okay. And then just re-evaluating that plan. And I grew up playing video games like many children, unfortunately more children these days do.
Yeah.
And it's all about different strategies. Okay, I achieved this way. I want to get something similar this month. How do I do it, but in a quicker, more efficient way? And it goes back to asking people for help.
Yeah.
I've been reading Kuda's book, Spear. And one of the things in there was ask friends and co-workers what makes me unique.
Yep.
And you might think there's nothing overly special about me. I'm just another blue collar worker. I'll just crack on.
Yeah.
Well, when you actually get people go, well, this is what makes you unique. This is why we like you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of go, well, actually, yeah, I am that. I'm just not giving myself the credit that I rightly deserve.
Yeah.
And like you say, we're not designed to be alone. There's no man is an island. Historically, genetically, we are sociable herd and pack animals. We need that.
We do.
So why would you go, oh, hang on a minute, I need to do this. And I'm going to do this on my own.
Yeah.
You look at any manual handling training, it'll say, if you can't lift this thing, get someone to help you. We'll listen to it if it's written down in a book and it comes to moving a sofa.
Yeah.
But when it comes to lifting a weight off your own shoulders, why would you not want? It's not a physical weight, but it's still a substantial one.
Yeah. Oh, that is so good.
So it's taking that moment to. I've probably gone completely off tangent, but yeah, it's taking that moment to step back and kind of take that 5-minute breather and kind of go, okay, what's working, what's not working?
Yeah.
How can I combine the two and get where I want to go?
Yeah. Yeah. That is so good. And I like that about, the weight on your own shoulders. Why? I've never thought about it like that. I've never, because definitely
fitness as well, aren't you? You're a fitness trainer as well.
Yes, so, I am.
You train someone to deadlift 100 kilos. Sorry, we're metric over here. So 100 kilos. That's great. But if they can't actually go, I can't be bothered to lift it, they're not going to lift it.
Right.
No matter how much you incentivize them, they're not going to lift it. And it was, a friend of mine said, the first gym I went to, it was very much, there was the big balloon animals. Oh, take it. I want to be as big and strong as I can. But it's like, why are you being like that? Why are you being an arse? Why are you being an arse? They're doing exactly the same as you. It's just you started a lot more and you took an easy way. We're getting stronger to lift people up, not put them down.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That is good.
And I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to do fitness. I want to help the fitness, but I want to do it for these reasons. I want to focus on helping people go, you know what? You want to be strong. Do you want to be happy as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Because ultimately, that's one thing for me as well. When I teach and when I'm training others, is the thing is, a lot of us, when you really look, what we're looking for is not the physical aspects of fitness, or I'm going to look good, or it's the deeper meaning of what we associate looking good gives us, right? For some people, it could be, hey, if I look good, I get attention. So that's why, or if I look good, I'm building confidence, or I'm getting happier. So when I go in and I approach classes where someone's like, oh, I can't do this, I'm like, it's not about this thing that you can't lift. What is it that you're working towards, right? Because for a lot of the women I work with, it's, I want to have more energy so I can run after my kids. I'm like, okay, good. That's the motivation. That's why you're doing this. It's not the fact that, oh, I can't do a push-up, or I can do this. So it's really when you talk to the heart behind it, is when you can really get people to step outside their comfort zone and do these things so they can ultimately get what they're looking for. So
why do you want to be more energetic to do this? Why to do this?
Right.
Why? And then you find that little brain.
Yeah, exactly.
And
exactly.
It's brilliant because we are in the industry and we're in the business of paying it forward. Because you help someone, you help a client, then they go, right, okay, I'm going to go and do this on my own. And then they will help someone else.
Yeah.
You go, yeah, okay. And then that carries on. And then that carries on.
Absolutely. I definitely agree.
And you're not helping one person, you're helping 1,000.
Yeah.
In the long run.
Yep, for sure. So now for people listening and watching, most people, so Sean is also part of our This Is My Era GoalGetter community. And This Is My Era is a personal development brand that I co-founded with my husband. And one of the products that we offer, so we offer online courses, and also one of our products that we offer is a 90-day planner, which is how I've come to know, there we go, which is how I've got my motto right there, which is how I've come to know a lot of some of our go-getters and people in the community, because, I do actually want to know people. So I'm always intrigued when I find people message or email me like, hey, I got the planner, or that I did this. I never used to be able to do this. And now because of this, and I'm always like, wait, how did you even find out about us? It's like, I'm so intrigued by the different ways. So how did you come to know about This Is My Era? Okay,
completely non-judgmental. I found the planner through sheer laziness.
I like that. I like the truth with that one.
So, I wouldn't lie to you, Ruth. So, I did a couple of life coaching sessions. The fitness company, fitness group that I work with, really, really good friends with my, I'd say my employer, but he's more like best friend and mentor. He put me on a life coaching course and said, right, do this one. This is kind of like the breaking, getting into it session.
Yeah.
There's a following one, but it's really expensive. I'm doing it. You can just copy me. And with his, he got a 90-day planner. He got a branded 90-day planner. And I went, all right, then. He goes, right, just buy a notebook that's got enough pages and just write them all out. And I started writing them out. And then I get so far and I get writer's cramp. I go, oh, I spelled that wrong. Okay. I went, right, there's got to be an easier way. Typed away, 90-day planners on Amazon. Okay. Oh, this one's got good reviews. I've seen these come up on Facebook a few times. Looked at it. Oh, I like the look of them. Bought it, never looked back. Never looked back.
That's so cool.
It was, when I opened it up, it like, this is really aesthetically pleasing. It's got everything I want. It's got the little, like, these are your free gift. This is what happens when you buy this planner, that you get school supplies and stuff. I was like, I like this. So I started using it. I didn't use it as effectively as I probably could have, but that was through different reasons. But yeah, I started doing GoalGetters, which I'm surprised you still let me in GoalGetters. I didn't think I'd stop. It was like, I know, I'll post in this. And then from there, it was, right, do the Reboot Your Life, do Michelle's Reboot Your Life.
Yeah.
I went, right, I'm buying another planner. And then it was, oh, everyone else wants, what's journaling? How do we get into journaling? Buy this. You will not regret it. It will explain everything.
Yeah. Oh, that is so cool. That is incredible.
So it was literally, full disclosure, I couldn't be bothered to write anymore.
Yeah.
And this looked really pretty. So I had
Hey, I don't mind at all. We just love it, right? It's like you said, the unexpected things. You go and looking for, solution to something, and then you find something else.
If I hadn't got this planner, I wouldn't have met your lovely self or Michelle or Kuda, and I wouldn't have been able to.
And we probably wouldn't be sitting here right now, right?
No. And that's when Ruth just goes, "Oh God, we could not been sitting here." But no, it's like, and it helps as well. Like, I've gone through a really difficult. I'm going through a separation at the moment, and had I not had the planner and done the things in the planner and learnt the methods and got the different strategies, I'd have been a heck of a lot worse than I am now.
Wow, that's so good to hear.
Yeah. So
it's so good to hear. So that's true. I agree. So now let's talk a little bit about excitement things, because I want to know, and I'm always intrigued. There's so much that people have accomplished in their life, but what do you feel is, and it could be current, past, whatever, some or one of your biggest accomplishment where you're like, yeah, this is I'm proud of this.
I'll answer this in the email, and I can't for the life of me remember what I said.
Well, I think it has, obviously, health is always definitely important to you.
It will probably be completely different. I'd say my biggest achievement was doing what people said I couldn't do and taking that gamble. Yeah. Growing up, because I had injuries to my leg, I had a lot of teachers saying, "Oh, you can't do that. We'll do this instead." One of the best ones was I did drama and theatre in college. Yeah. And I had my PE teacher, who was the head of my year, goes, No. You won't be able to dance around or do leaps and stuff in theatre. Instead, we're going to try and put you on the football team so you can run around on your injured leg for 90 minutes with people that you don't get on with never got picked for the team. I was always there. Oh, I suppose we'll have him. Because they were saying, you can't do that. Yeah. I think having that stubbornness of being an angsty teen to go, I'm going to do it purely because you said I can't. That would be my biggest achievement, because if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have achieved anything.
Yeah, that is so good. And I always like that, right? Because it's there are two different ways that could have gone, right? You could have been like, yeah, you know what? Maybe they're right. I can't do it, whatever. Or it could go the other way where you're like, well, I'm going to prove you wrong. And it's that tenacity that, people have where it's like, watch me. If you don't think I can do it, watch me.
Just for the record, I did the dance, but I was no good at it.
But you did it. Exactly. So on the lines of, accomplishments and things like that, what do you also think maybe is one of the biggest lessons that you've learned in your life?
don't be afraid to ask for help. We've covered it at the beginning. But
Yes.
do not be afraid to ask for help. And especially to any gentlemen that are watching this, I cannot stress enough. Yes, you are male. You are no less manly for asking for help.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Anyone, not just men, women, all the in-betweens, the entire rainbow, ask for help.
Yep. Yep.
Because what's the worst thing that's going to happen?
That could happen. That's true. That is so true. I
What's the worst thing
completely
that can
agree.
happen? Someone can say, "Oh, I don't know how to help you there, but I think I know someone who can."
Yep. Yep. Exactly. I love that. That is one of the things that I say to myself is that I'm like, you can't do this on your own. You're not good at everything. Yeah.
And if no one can help you, you haven't moved anywhere. You're still at the same spot, so you can approach it differently.
Exactly. Because nothing's going to change if no one can help you. So that's so good. That is so good.
Yeah, ask for help.
Yep. I love that. That's a good one. So in terms of, that would lead into advice, because people love to give advice. Others are very receptive, others not so much. What do you think is maybe the best advice you received, and who gave that advice to you?
There's two.
Okay.
There's two. It's kind of almost like an unofficial, like family motto. Everyone at some point will say it to you. If it's meant for you, it won't pass you by.
Oh.
But through growing up and doing stuff, mine is, if it's meant for you, it won't pass you by. But it's not just going to drop in your lap.
Yeah.
It's not going to just drop in your lap. If opportunity doesn't come knocking, go and kick the door in and introduce yourself. Oh, sorry, shaking. Go and kick the door in and introduce yourself. But if it doesn't happen, then clearly it wasn't right for you.
That's good. I like that. And it's true. I mean, things don't just fall in your lap. Maybe certain things do, but they won't be to the point where you wanted it to be if you don't put some action into it, if you don't do something for it to manifest into what you actually were envisioning for it to manifest into. So that's good. So what was the second one? You said there was two.
The second one kind of helps when it's my current employer. It's one of his favorite sayings, and it kind of helps when everything gets foggy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't know what to do. There's so much. Okay. Where attention goes, energy flows, and results will show.
Oh, yeah.
I probably paraphrased that badly, but it's true. If you want to focus on something, that's where you'll get the results.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
To the point of, if you're driving a car and you're there and you look over, you will instinctively find yourself going that way.
Yep.
Where you focus on, okay, I want to learn to play the piano. If you actually sit down and focus on playing the piano, you will learn to play the piano.
Yeah.
You want to become a better person, you will focus and go, right, what do I need to keep and what do I need to get rid of? And and that's it. Those are my two, I'd say.
Yeah, I like that a lot. One of the ones that I also learned that I like, who said that? Oh, I forgot who said it, but actually there's two. The first was Tony Robbins, which I do like, because when he says, when you change your story, you change your life. It's kind of like where you focus your attention on. That story that you keep repeating to yourself over and over again. If, as a child, they told you, hey, you're not good at this. And you're like, okay, I'm not good at it. And you let it replay over and over and over again. You're not going to spend energy or time trying to be good at it, because everybody already said, you're not good at it. So you're like, why waste my time? But if you change that story of, I'm not good at it, but I can learn, then you're going to be able to change your life, and you're going to start discovering that, wait, I'm actually good at it. Where did this come from that I'm not good at it? I'm not good. And you might have tried something once and you weren't great at it. People are like, oh, you're not good at that. And all of a sudden you're like, yep, that's my story. And that's what I'm believing, and I'm sticking to it. And it's like, nope, you want to change that story. and you change your life. And the other one was that this actually is one of my favorite ones that I recently discovered, where it says, be content to act and leave the talking to others. I was like, oh, that's good, right? It's so good because
ooh, that one hits right, yes.
People talk and talk and talk. It's like, you just focus on doing, because that's where the results are, because talking doesn't do anything. So you focus on acting and let others do the talking, because once you see the results from your action, all the talk is like nothing. Like, talk is cheap, they say. So I'm always like, oh, that's
we're slightly more sarcastic. It'll be like, oh, no, it's like, oh yeah, cool. When's the paperback coming out?
Exactly.
When can I see this on your blog?
Yep, exactly. All right, so I do have one last question for you. Well, actually two. Let's do two. The first one is, knowing what you know about life now and where you are, would you have done anything differently?
No.
Oh,
no.
I've never met anybody that said yes. I'm always looking.
I've got scars inside, outside, everywhere. Physical, mental, literal, and metaphorical. I have scars. I got bruises. You don't get a mug looking this lovely if you don't take a few lumps.
Yeah.
And each one is a story, and each one is an experience.
Absolutely.
If I hadn't gone through all this and worked for it, I'd be in a wheelchair. I wouldn't be doing what I love.
Yeah.
If I hadn't taken the plunge and gone, I'm going to ask this girl out, I wouldn't have met my ex-wife. I wouldn't have had my son.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have, if I hadn't gone, right, I want to be able to travel places with my son. I wouldn't have gotten over my fear of cars and learned how to drive. And it goes back to that, if it's meant for you, it won't pass you by, but you've got to actually go for it.
Yeah, that is so true. That is
worrying about something is like worrying about something is like trying to solve quantum physics by chewing bubblegum. It's going to get you nothing. But worrying's there for a reason. It's an instinctual thing. It protects us, but sometimes you have to push through that comfort zone and go, you know what? One of the best ways I'd learn how to swim was my granddad threw me in the swimming pool.
Yep. And you're like, figure it out. You're gonna fight.
Yeah.
If you have that survival, if you want to survive, you'll find a way.
Yeah. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. There's loads of cliches.
Yep. But they all ring true. But they're all true when you take a moment to really reflect on the words. Because there's certain things that we say over and over again that it's now kind of become a cliche, like you say. But there's so much truth to the most common sayings when you take a moment where it's like, huh.
And the reason they become cliches is because you say them so often that people say, oh, they've lost all meaning.
Yeah. But we got to get back to that
saying it with that integrity.
Yeah. That's so good. All right, so my last question, though, which I want to know, what does Sean do for fun?
I am a jack of all trades and a master of none. I do the usual, watch Netflix, play video
What's your
games.
favorite show on Netflix?
I'm watching about 12 different ones at the moment.
Oh, jeez.
Up until recently, my TV was the only one that actually had TV. So I was watching whatever my son wanted to watch. So I could tell you everything that happens to the Paw Patrol or Sonic the Hedgehog. But what's actually going on in like Stranger Things, I have no idea. But yeah, I watch Netflix. I listen to a lot of podcasts and audiobooks. I read, I meditate. I've recently ticked something off my bucket list and I've started playing Dungeons and Dragons. Brilliant. As a geek and a drama scholar, it's brilliant.
Yeah, that's so good. That is so good.
Especially now as I'm an adult and I can go, you know what? I'm going to have a drink with it. I'm going to have a whiskey or something with it as well, just to. But yeah, I do lots of things to unwind anything. I'd say mostly it'll be listening to spoken word or listening to music.
Oh, that's good. That is good. Well, that's so good to know. And for anybody that was wondering what you do for fun, now
Yeah,
they know all the list of things
everything.
that you do for
Everything is
fun.
what I do for fun.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sean. It's really been so much fun getting to hear about your story. And I didn't know that about your story. Obviously, I know you from the community, but not this. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this and meet people from all over, just to be like, oh wow, that's incredible. There's like determination in there. These people have been through stuff, but they've used, it's like you have battle scars, and each scar is a story, and each story is help for somebody that is going through that right now. So that's really, really incredible. So thank you so much. I
It's okay.
appreciate
I'm
you
going to do
being
the
here.
cliche again of, for anyone who's watching, this is my own personal mantra, which is Richard Nixon actually said it.
Mm-hmm.
The strongest steel's forged in the hottest fire,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean don't struggle. I would, if there's one thing from me rambling on for however long, is reach out to someone
Mm-hmm.
and help and
Yeah.
ask for help. That's the
Yeah.
main thing, if anything, that I'd say from this,
Yeah,
because you
that
never
is
know.
so beautiful. That is true. That is so, so beautiful. Well, thank you so much. And for
Thank
our
you.
listeners, thank you so much for joining us today. I cannot wait to have our next guest on, and I cannot wait to have you all back. And remember, you are just one goal away. Stick with the process and be content to act and leave the talking for others. Thank you so much.